Good day and welcome. Matthew here again. We are at Manufacturers Cup. We are at the Manufacturers Cup. Sardegna Circuit B in reverse. So I qualified 30th after a terrible qualifying session, and I was looking to make up places. Unfortunately for me, Matthew decides to go off at the first turn. I appreciate that very much. I'm sure Matthew did not. But we're up one place. Top 5 had some decent points on offer, and I knew that was going to be a big ask. The races I did, the practice races in the week I did around here, turns out it's pretty hard to overtake unless you've got a decent sort of speed advantage over the car ahead. And when everybody's drafting off everybody else down the straights, everything's neutralized, so it's very difficult to get ahead. But that wasn't going to stop me from trying. So, plan was to get as far up the field as I could, as cleanly as I could, and see how we can do. I was never going to touch the top 6. I reckon if I'd had my qualifying down, I would have picked up 7th or 8th, maybe 8th. Certainly a 27 flat. Was thinking a high 26 was the potential of my car or me. The car's probably capable of more. But me, I was looking at a 26.9, but I think I qualified on a 27.5 or 27.4, so I was well down the order, and the top 6 were just sort of on another level. They were all mid-26s, so nearly a second faster than I qualified. But this was a hectic race, and you'll see the gaggle of cars just ahead of me going into this corner. So we'll just jump back and show you where this all started, and you'll get to see a bit of an analysis. So it starts with Nick, and he commits the cardinal sin of not trying to overtake into turn 1. You just don't do it. And he taps the back of Conzio, gathers it up, Mint goes flying past, and then you got 8th, 9th and 10th in close succession. Mint just squeezes past in the long right-hander. Conzio is holding up Nick. Nick goes a little bit wide. Other Nick dives him. Dino gets up the inside, and you see just everybody sort of concertinas together. Nick breaks to the corner. Dino taps him. You get a McLaren in the mix back there, and it all goes haywire behind. So this is from the McLaren's view. He gets to see the gaggle of cars all sort of shortening up. He's got a really good clean run and can see them all getting side by side. B-Spec Bob goes into the side of Dino's. A gap opens up for the McLaren. Dino's taps the Mercedes, which slows him up more, and pulls into the apex. And he probably wasn't expecting Ranger to be there in all honesty, and if he hadn't hit the Mercedes, it would have been a cleaner run through that corner. He would have been able to take his normal line, but because of the tap, Ranger was put side by side, and things just get a bit messy. So now from my perspective, so I was just behind the McLaren, as you could see, so I was looking at the gaps that Ranger was moving into and getting all kinds of excited. I was like, gaggle of cars, surely I can make a place or two here. I look over to the inside, I look at going up the inside of B-Spec Bob. I decide against it, but he slows up. I get a bit of a tap from him. Because Ranger and Dino's come together, Dino's are slow. I look to go to the inside. Dino's blocks me, which is fine. So I go around the outside of him. The plan is to get him into the next hairpin. I don't believe he sees me, and he just turns in on me, which was unexpected. I then try to drive as hard as I can out. He still comes over to the left. From talking to him a little bit afterwards, I believe he didn't see me then either, but it's partly my fault. I didn't quite give him enough room. Like, there was a car's width, but maybe in that situation I should have been more over to the left. And I have apologised to Dino's. That was my fault. And fortunately for my race, I did not actually pick up a penalty for tapping him off, and I do not know why. Because that seemed clear cut. I knocked him off, he hit the wall, and he slowed up. I should have been given a penalty, but was not. So yeah, so up 2 places in 2 laps, and Albon is chasing me down hard. I wasn't sure what the BMW was quite capable of. I got lucky through there. I don't like hooking the wheel over that curb. You usually end up sideways. So Albon's sticking his nose up there. I expected he would back off and let me turn in there. And with Ranger and B-Spec having a fight, I thought I might be able to catch these guys, and Nick McCosey is just a little bit further up the road. So things were heating up. It was quite cool. Just a moment on, I guess. Further into lap 3, we're riding on board with Mint, and this was the next sort of major incident which took out a couple of very fast drivers. So Conzio gets a good run on Mint and goes at the inside of him into the hairpin. Mint goes to get him back, gives him a little bit of a tap. I guess Conzio went a bit too deep on the brakes, and then unfortunately drives a bit wide into the rear corner of Conzio and taps him off the circuit. And I'm not sure what Mint was trying to do here. I think he was slowing up to let Conzio past while also being off the racing line. We're just going to jump back and try to figure it out. You see, Conzio goes in too deep, so he keeps on the brakes, stops, slows up a bit more. I guess Mint misjudges his understeer, goes into the side of him. When Mint gets some free space, he goes over to the left to get off the racing line, which inadvertently, unfortunately, hits Conzio again. We'll try to find Conzio. Here he goes. Which is terrible for Conzio, because he had some really good pace in the Hyundai. Gets pitched sideways, hits the wall. Mint doesn't actually get a penalty for that. And then Mint comes across, I guess, to get off the racing line, and Conzio is there, and he gets pushed off again. And you see me flash past there. So another 2 places made up by me. And a really unfortunate coming together by Conzio and Mint, who are 2 very clean drivers and very good drivers. But these things unfortunately happen sometimes. So just past that incident, onto lap 4, this is it's full of action, this race. B-Spec Bob and Rangerous have a bit of a coming together into turn 1. I don't know what B-Spec Bob was trying to do. I saw it happening. I tried to pull up and stay to the right as much as I could. I gave him a little bit of a tap on the way by. I was hoping he would not fall off onto the grass, which may gift me a penalty. But B-Spec kept it on the track. And I pick up another 2 places. So 2 places in the matter of what? 4 corners? No, 4 places in 4 corners. Just some incredible luck. But now Nick are about 3 seconds up the road. So I knew I'd have to go some to get there. And I wasn't sure I had the pace in the car to do so. Just a quick review on the incident between B-Spec and Ranger. I think B-Spec may just brake a bit too late, goes in too deep, because Ranger didn't really open up the door there, and I think B-Spec was just too fast and too late on the brakes, and the small gap that was there he just tried to put his car into, but ended up causing that accident. 2 laps on, and we are now into lap 8 out of 9. So Double H had a bit of an off. He'd had an epic tussle with Sardog for most of the race, and he ended up falling off the track at the very next corner at the sharp left-handed downhill. So he fell back about 2 or 3 seconds, and so I ended up about a second behind him. So it took me 2 laps to catch him, and I figured I might, because I knew the front-wheel drive cars, the front tyres would be wearing a bit, so I figured this would be the part of the race where they're going to be weaker. So we end up having a great scrap over 6th place. Try to go around the outside of him there. I thought I might have had the better grip with my front tyres wearing a bit better, but he did a good job at sticking to the inside line, holding the position, and keeping me in my place. And here I noticed he was braking a second time through that left-hander before the final right-hand corner. So coming onto the last lap now, I was like, right, if I can't get him anywhere, it's going to be that last corner. Because he's having to brake so much now, I'd have an advantage over him. But Albon, after falling back a bit, with much better tyre wear in the BMW, has come right back on my tail. So I had to watch from behind as well as in front. Double H goes a smidgen wide through turn 2. I thought I might have him, but I don't. I have to tuck him behind him. I go to the inside here, but he covers that one off quite nicely. I get a good drive out of here. I look to the inside. He's covering the inside, so I go to the outside. He has to brake on the inside of the track. Gets a poor run on the outside. You know, poor because he has to run wide, and he's later on the accelerator. He gets a poorer run down the straight. I take advantage. Albon's looking to take advantage and goes up the inside of Double H. I brake a bit too late into here. I braked way later than I needed to. And then Albon goes up the inside. So as soon as I gain 6, I look to lose 6. So I go to defend on the inside here, sort of a last gasp attempt. Albon makes a mistake. I guess he broke too late or didn't quite judge how much grip or lack of grip there was on the outside of that corner. So he quickly lost that position back and then lost it to Double H. And with Double H back in 7th, I knew I was safe into that last corner. I could just take it casually and make sure I get a good drive and a good exit. And I come home with an unexpected 6th place, which I was thoroughly pleased with. So just that last lap again, from my perspective, it's a lot more interesting in the car. I was looking to overtake him at any opportunity. Goes wide here. I saw him understeering. I knew his car was understeering after following him for a couple of laps. So I looked to go to the inside here because I knew he was going to be weak. So I move to the inside and he covers me off. So I slam on the brakes, take a wider line to get a good drive. He sticks to the left-hand side. So I knew I just had to take a sensible braking point, hit that apex and nail it out of this corner. Which I do. I was really happy with that, but then I had to watch Albon in my rear view and I thought I had him covered off, but you can see him coming. He's got a good draft, he's got better tyre wear, and I just broke a little bit too late, so I understeer through the middle of this. Albon's up the left hand side of me. There he goes. Hit my usual braking marks, but he's just too wide, and there is certainly a lack of grip off the racing line, especially on sharp corners like that. So he understeered wide. As soon as I saw him understeering, I could take my normal exit, get a good drive, and claim that position. And you can see them just in my rear view fighting away, but too far behind to bother me for my 6th position. So that was it from me. Starting 13th and coming 6th. This car is not really suited to the track. I could certainly go faster in it, but for whatever reason when it came down to crunch time I just didn't have the pace. So I ended up starting 13th for qualifying after not being able to hook up a single lap, and managed to, I guess, keep my nose pretty clean. You know, a few taps here and there, but my nose pretty clean, and moved through the field as fast as I could. And fortunately for me, a few of the fast guys knocked themselves out or dropped back, so it was a bit of an unexpected result, but a result I'm pretty happy with nonetheless. And even Albon in the BMW, he's driven a great race because he's obviously started behind me. That BMW at the end, insane tyre wear. So to come from wherever he did, I'm not even sure where he started, to be honest, but behind me and end up 7th. Still behind me, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. 7th or 8th, I can't quite remember, but that's another great race as well by him. So yeah, thanks very much for coming along and watching. If you like what you saw, give us a like, give us a follow. If you want to see these races live and hear my reactions, follow me on Twitch. The links will be in the description below. But until next time, until Saturday, thank you and good day.